Okay, how is everybody doing this afternoon? Actually, this evening. It's getting kind of dark outside. So, my name is Kent, and the channel is EOS San Diego. It's been a while since I've done a video outside. Even though it's pretty nice here in California, I've been kind of neglecting my outside videos. I did a couple of live streams, but I haven't done any outside. But a lot's taken place since I did my last video, and I want to start making some videos to keep updated. Keep you updated as far as what's going on. Of course, the first thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about EOS and the fact that they have brought, or Google has decided to become block producers, and that supposedly they are block producing right now currently, and I think that they're in the 73rd position according to what everybody has said on other videos I've watched and a few other people have said in comments, which is they're a long way from the top of the block producer line, or the top 21, or even to the top few block producers. They're going to have to get into the hundreds of millions of votes, and they're only like 14 million. So if Google block producing, and they've only gotten about 14 million votes at this point, they got a long way to go. And I don't know what the strategy is or what the game plan is. If Google wants to buy EOS to vote for themselves, or if they're going to start working on campaigns to get people to vote for them, or what's going to happen. I know Block One will vote for them, but I don't know if that's taken place yet. My guess is that Google hasn't started block producing, that they're still setting up a node. Of course, anybody can run a node, and anybody can call it whatever they want to call it. I mean, I could start a node tomorrow and call it Google, and say that I'm from Mountain View, California. So even so somebody's saying that they're Google, they may not be Google, and I don't know really how to prove that. But at this point, I'm kind of hesitant to think that Google's in the game as far as block producers, but they will be, because they've already said they are. It's been announced publicly. Of course, Dan Lammer's announced it, so they will. And I don't know how that's all going to transpire, or how that's all going to take effect, but I'm hoping that if Google does come on board, that Google will make an investment in EOS tokens. Simply as block producers, they may buy some tokens, or they may do something, or some other people might buy tokens in order to vote for Google. So I don't know. I'm hoping that the price would start to go up a little bit from here, because right now the price is pretty low. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the price starts to go up a little bit, because I don't think the price of EOS has really seen the appreciation that like what we're seeing with Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin is done very, very well here recently, and that's primarily what this video is going to be about, is the incredible appreciation of Bitcoin here recently. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. So, and a lot of people I see that are talking, and I'm trying to find as much as I can about where Bitcoin's going. Obviously, I hold Bitcoin, so I'm interested in that. But a lot of people will look at the charts, and they'll look at the candles, and they'll look at the wicks, and they'll look at the trends, and they'll come up with some sort of idea where it's going. I've never been somebody that does that, and I've never seen that be all that effective. I mean, it may give you a small snapshot of what's going on, but as far as following trends and having some idea of being able to look at a chart and figure out where it's going, I always thought was a little bit of probably a less than ideal way of charting or figuring out where the market's going. I think the market's going up, and I think it's going to go up a lot. And I'll give you some numbers. I'll give you just a for instance, and not a for instance. I'll give you an exact real world purchase of Bitcoin. In March, I think April 2nd. Yeah, April 2nd. I personally purchased a Bitcoin for, I think, $6,500. $6,500 on April 2nd. The other day, Bitcoin, actually just a little bit ago, I checked the price of Bitcoin. It's about 13,200, maybe down slightly, but right around 13,200. So Bitcoin, my original purchase of Bitcoin at 6,000 is just about doubled in 7 months. So it's gone from 6,000 to 13,000 in 7 months, which is 100% appreciation. It's doubled. It's double what I put in. I put in 6,500. Now it's 13. That's double what I had in 7 months. There's no other investment that I could have done in the last 7 months that would have done that. Not even close. You wouldn't have done it in gold, you wouldn't have done it in real estate, you wouldn't have done it in any commodities, you wouldn't have done it in any stocks, NASDAQ, big board, blue chips, whatever. You wouldn't have done it anywhere else. You could have not doubled your money in the previous 6 months. Even considering mainly how much uncertainty there's been in the economy with COVID and all the different things going. There's no place that you could have done that, but I did that. And I didn't do it because I'm a genius. I did it because I knew the price was low. I knew it had been beaten up. I knew that since COVID had hit, that the price was being depressed from COVID. So it was an easy play. It was like, hey, buy a Bitcoin here at this price. I think it's a good price. Buy a Bitcoin, and I think the price is going to go up. And it did, and it did pretty well. So my thing is, and what I want to talk about tonight, instead of trying to chart the future and trying to figure out where it's going, I'm thinking to myself, if you buy the Bitcoin at $6,500 and 7 months later it's 13,000, a little over 13,000, it's only got to do that 7 more times and you have $1.6 million. So if it does as well as it did in the last 7 months, every month preceding now or from here on forward, or in the future, it'll be worth about $1.6 million. That single Bitcoin purchase of $6,000 will be worth about a little over 1.6, I think close to $1.7 million in November 2024. So in 4 years, you could possibly, if it only does as well as it's done here in the last 7 months, it will be worth over $1 million, almost $2 million. And that's only if it does as well as it's done over the past 7 months. I believe that it will. I believe that's the trajectory and the course of Bitcoin. That you could literally have 1.5, 1.6, $1.7 million. If you don't take any out and you just leave it all in and keep all the investment together, don't pull some out to do something else, that you could literally be a millionaire owning Bitcoin over the next few years on a single Bitcoin purchase of $6,000. And I've made these videos before, and I've talked about this, and I've seen other people make videos like this too. So literally Bitcoin, I believe, is the best investment that is going. I mean, outside of some unique situation that individuals may have that is only available to a few people, I think Bitcoin for the common person, the person that just wants to go on Coinbase, buy a Bitcoin, which is very easy to do, I think it's very easy. And if you don't know how to buy Bitcoin, get a hold of me. I'll steer you in the direction of how to buy Bitcoin. Just leave your my email, put it in the comments. If you don't know how to buy Bitcoin, I'll help you buy Bitcoin because it's very easy to do. And if you buy it in certain ways, it's very safe to do and you don't have to worry about it. So if you want to contact me about how to get a hold of a Bitcoin or how to buy a Bitcoin, I'd be happy to help you out. I've been buying and selling Bitcoin for a long time now. And it's gotten to the point where it's very safe. I don't think you have any problems with losing your Bitcoin or having somebody steal your Bitcoin. I think it's very easy to do, very safe to do. So literally, in the next 4 years, you could be worth $1 million by just investing in Bitcoin. And I don't know where else you could do that. You're not going to do that in gold. You're not going to do that in any other way. I mean, when you think about what money is and what money really is, it's just a medium of exchange. It's a way for me to give you, for us to have a transaction where I get something and I give you something, and there's a trusted way for me to give something for a value to you for something you have, which is just an exchange. And of course, the medium of exchange we trust today is currencies, because that's what we have. Our governments are legal tender, and people trust that. Tomorrow or today, especially with PayPal and all the other people coming aboard, Google coming on board, all these people coming on board, Facebook. I think in the future it's going to be cryptocurrencies. The easiest way to meet a medium of exchange is if you got this cell phone, of which I'm recording this video off right now. And all you need to do is have a simple wallet or a Coinbase account or something like that. You can transfer money to somebody any place in the world, and a medium of exchange that's trusted. You don't have to worry about it. There's very little as far as fees concerned. It's very trustworthy and it's very easy to do. That will be the way the future transpires, and that's why I think Bitcoin right now is such a valuable thing. And I think people would argue, well, you bought Bitcoin at the right time and it went up really well. Well, that's true. But the thing about me buying it when I bought it was that the price was down, the price was depressed. But the thing about it is it's also been a bear market for about everything. So who knows what's going to happen next year. I figured out that if Bitcoin continues to be worth that kind of money, you're looking at about you're looking at a market cap of about 23 trillion if it would go to like 1.6, 1.7 million of Bitcoin, which I think is very possible for it to do. A lot of people are calling it $1 million Bitcoin because there's probably only legitimately about 14 million Bitcoin available, even though 21 million Bitcoin are in the protocol, but only about 14 million exist. So at about 23 million is going to be the 23 trillion, I'm sorry, 23 trillion will be the market cap of Bitcoin if it goes up to what I think it could go. And my single Bitcoin that I bought in April would be worth $1.7 million. Bitcoin has a $23 trillion market cap, which, think about that. Think about a $23 million market cap. Really isn't that much, especially for a medium exchange used throughout the world. Because look at Apple has $1 trillion market cap, more than $1 trillion market cap. It's one company. They make computers and iPhones, and they have cloud services. Think about this last stimulus. I mean, they're thinking about a $3 trillion stimulus plan coming up here real quick. 3 or 4 trillion, probably be more by the time it happens, especially if the new administration gets in and they decide they really want to grease the economy. You could have a $4 trillion stimulus plan in just one single event, not even considering the fact they had a $2 trillion plan here earlier this year. So in 1 year, the U.S. government can print $6-7 trillion just to stimulate the economy from COVID. So a $23 trillion market cap for Bitcoin could be very possible, given the fact that trillions right now aren't as much money as people would think they are, because of how much money is being spent and printed right now and how much money is being needed just to continue to create more and more kind of a pyramid scheme where you got to have more and more money to keep things going, so you just keep printing. It becomes worth less and less. So trillions is not that much anymore. In 4 years, trillions could be very little. So to have a $23 trillion market cap for something as valuable as Bitcoin, or Bitcoin, as few Bitcoin, maybe 14, 15 million Bitcoin floating around in the world, I think to have $1 million Bitcoin is probably very, 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 very within, it's very possible. It's within possibility. So this is what I like to see. This is what I like to talk about. This is what I think is going to happen. I think it can make somebody that's just a very good investment if that's what they want to do, without going into having a lot of, and of course we have the trade. This one sounds like it's pretty slow, without going into a lot of risk, to go out and buy something. Right now, to me, everything's very risky. Stock market's extremely risky. The Bitcoin trade and the EOS trade. But anyway, getting back to EOS, the fact that Google has become a block producer is kind of interesting, because Google's trying to do it a little bit on the low-key side of it, because when Facebook came up with Libra, Zuckerberg got sucked up into the Senate to ask a bunch of questions, and everybody was calling him, saying that he was trying to create his own currencies and trying to take over, becoming the world reserve currency of Facebook. Libra coin was. So he put a big target on himself. Whereas Google, by doing it kind of slowly and getting involved subtly by being block producers, they're not causing themselves to be very exposed. They're not causing themselves to have a lot of eyeballs on them, because obviously people don't understand EOS, they don't understand block producers, they don't really understand what Google's doing. But Google is actually entering the blockchain space on a very low-key way, and they're doing it in a way that they're getting involved and they're participating, but they're doing it in a way that's not too many people are noticing. And of course, that's, I think, the other reason why the price hasn't gone up much either. But anyway, the price will, because Bitcoin, everything follows Bitcoin. As Bitcoin goes up, and it will go up a lot more. I'm looking at maybe 30,000 here in the very near future. Probably early next year will be at 30,000 a Bitcoin next quarter next year. And if Bitcoin's at 30,000, you better guarantee EOS is going to be a lot higher too. So EOS could be back in the $20-$30 range really quickly. So that's what the direction I'm kind of looking for. It's been a long haul, man. I'm telling you, it's been a long haul watching these prices, in the floundering market that's happened for so long. So, I'm happy to see it. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I've been making so many videos, is because it's like you put so much effort into this, you put so much time into it, that when it does finally kind of happen, you just want to take a breather. So that's kind of what's been going on. I just kind of been enjoying the moment, watching Bitcoin do what it's doing. Enjoying the moment, seeing Google climb aboard with EOS. Enjoying the moment, seeing PayPal join up and adding Bitcoin as one of their alternatives as far as payments is concerned. Just enjoying the moment to see these big hedge funds and these big money management places starting to buy Bitcoin, and not only buying Bitcoin, recommending people buy Bitcoin to put a little bit of their investment or into their portfolio, Bitcoin in their portfolio. So there's where we're going, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so much. Like I say, I've taken a little bit of a breather, but I'll be back at it because it's going to be a lot to talk about. There's going to be a lot more said. Last thing I want to talk about a little bit about is that Challenge, obviously our token, trades on new decks. It's done very well here recently. I think it's up. I think it's 3 or 4 times up higher than where it was a few months ago, or actually a few weeks ago, or a few days ago, actually. So we've done very well with that. We're going to be adding. We already added video to the Android. We're getting ready to add video to the iOS, and we've got some other stuff going on. We're get on our Telegram. You'll see everything we're doing. I don't want to talk about it all here because there's a lot of stuff that I think a lot of people will find very interesting, but in order to follow what we're doing, you need to follow us on Telegram, because that's where you get all the input from the community, and that's what we want. We want you to help us decide where to go and how to do this. And this is the best way to do it, to join the community and have a voice in the community, because right now we're at a point where anybody can do this. There'll probably be a day and time where decisions are made by fewer and fewer people, but right now everybody's involved, everybody's making decisions, and that's the way we like it. We want everybody to be involved, so get involved now. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.